Hello friends, and welcome back to another studio vlog. I'm experimenting right now with recording my voice with my phone versus my regular camera recording. There's a lot of noise going on right now in the background because the city decided it would be a great idea to trim the hedges of this like public area that's outside my window at 7 in the morning, and it is now 9:45 and they're still trimming, so I've given up. But the bulk of the noise is over. For a while we could smell the gas from the trimming tool thing. What is it called? I don't know. We could smell the gas in our apartment, which was really nice for us. Great way to wake up. Anyway, hello, welcome to a new studio vlog. I actually filmed an intro last week, but I don't really remember what I talked about, so I'm filming a new one. Yeah, how are you doing? It's been kind of a rough September for me. It's already September 20th, and I feel like I've done no art because I have spent the first week of September, you guys already know, I was packing up orders, and then I was dealing with my printer that was broken, that now I have a replacement of, that I am completely blocking. So I tried to show it to you guys, but it's fine. And then I was working on Ko-fi commissions because I opened up commissions to help pay for the printer. And that went really well. I ended up selling quite a few commissions, and people were very generous and tipped me a lot, which was, you don't need to tip me ever, but I appreciate it very much. If you want to tip me on Ko-fi, that would be really, really kind, because I do live in a very high cost of living city. I live in New York City, and it's very expensive here, and I do this full time, and I make a lot less than I used to because of doing this full time. So yeah. So yeah, if you want to tip me, I would appreciate that. If you want to be a patron, I also would very much appreciate that. Yeah. So what else have I done this month? Not much. I've been working on some knitting. I bought the TikTok frog pattern. So I've done the body of the frog and one leg. So he's a little unfinished, but he's gonna happen eventually. And yeah, so I've been working on a lot of knitting. I've been doing a lot of reading. I haven't played any video games this month. I feel like I played Stardew at all? I don't think so. So I've been basically only reading books, and I just returned all my books to the library, so I can't show you the covers, but I did really want to mention the books that I've been reading because I love reading. So hello, welcome. This is Cissy's Book Cafe. No longer Cissy's Art Cafe. I'm procrastinating packing up the Patreon goodie bags, so let me tell you about the books I've been reading. Okay. I am currently, the book that I picked up yesterday from the library is The Dragon's Promise. This one I actually do have. It is the second book in a duology. The first book is called Six Crimson Cranes. I don't think I talked about this, but Six Crimson Cranes and The Dragon's Promise are by Elizabeth Lim, and it's a fantasy YA duology about a princess and her 6 brothers, and they get cursed by their stepmother, and they have to find their way home, and they have to learn about like magic and the circumstances around their kingdom and stuff like that. It's really interesting. It's been a really fun series to read. I'm about 2/3 of the way through this book. I started reading it last night, so you can see what my reading pace is. I'm a very fast reader. Yeah, another book that I read and finished and returned already is called We Were Dreamers by Simu Liu, who you might know as Shang-Chi, or Chung from Kim's Convenience. He is a Chinese Canadian actor. Like me, he's Chinese Canadian. Unlike me, he's an actor. So it's his memoir. He talks about his growing up in Harp, being raised by his grandparents and then moving to Canada. He also talks about his parents' stories, who are both native Chinese people who immigrated to Canada. And honestly, I think the memoir, I rated the memoir 5 out of 5. I want to buy a copy for myself for my own little bookshelf, which is a big deal because I live in a New York City apartment and we don't have a ton of space, and most of our bookshelf space is taken up by Alan's chess books. So it's a big deal when I want to buy a book for my little collection. But I really liked We Were Dreamers. I think it's worth picking up, honestly, just even for the first like 7-ish chapters, because he talks about his parents' stories as people growing up in post-cultural revolution China. And I feel like we never get firsthand, secondhand accounts of that time period. And that's like a really significant time period, because it's like when my parents were growing up, that's when most of our older generation of Chinese people, like native Chinese people, like what they lived through. And we don't hear a lot of stories about that. So I think it's worth picking up just for that. It's also really interesting to read about his journey being like a quote unquote gifted student, and then rebelling against his parents' expectations, and then like his journey as an accountant, which was really interesting. It's so funny because he talks about how much he hated being an accountant. And I was reading it and I was like, I feel like I would be a pretty good accountant. Like I can like look at Excel sheets for a long time. Like I don't mind. But yeah, so highly recommend. I thought it was really funny because when I was reading the book, I was like, I would not have liked you as a person. Like if we had gone to the same college, I would have hated Simu. No offense, sorry, he's not watching this video. But yeah, he talks about basically being very schmoozy as a business student, and as a kid who went to tech school, not a big fan of the schmoozers, but it makes sense why he has very high, it's very clear that he has very high EQ. Like he's very emotionally intelligent, and it's really interesting. Anyway, I've rambled about this book for enough, but highly recommend We Were Dreamers. You should pick it up. I feel like as far as celebrity memoirs go, it was really well written. I've read a couple other celebrity memoirs. I read Carrie Fisher's The Princess Diarist a couple years ago, and I hated it. I'm so sorry. That's an unpopular opinion. I really hated it. And so many people talked about that book. I feel like We Were Dreamers is better written. Sorry. Yeah. And then I read the last book. I read A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is the last book in the trilogy of ACOTAR. There's also 2 more like add-on books that I have currently on hold at the library, but are not ready for me to pick up yet. How do I explain ACOTAR? It's a bad series. It's not good, but it's very fun to read. Does that make sense? It's like how I would explain what Twilight is. It's so bad, it's good. It's not quality writing. There's so many weird plot choices that are happening. It's so long for no reason. I have nothing good to say, but somehow I can't stop. I need to read the entire series. So, yeah. Is ACOTAR worth reading? Not really, but it's a fun time. So if you want to have fun, if you want to have a fun time, pick it up. I don't know how to explain this series. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and then the last book that I've read recently is Cafe con Lychee. I think I talked about picking it up from the library. I only just read it, but Cafe con Lychee is another YA. It is a queer enemies to lovers romance set in high school about these 2 boys. One is Chinese Japanese and the other is Puerto Rican, I'm pretty sure, and they both come from families that have mom and pop restaurants that are rivals because they're the only 2 quote-unquote ethnic restaurants in their town, and they end up having to work together because a third-party quote-unquote fusion ethnic restaurant opened by white people gentrifiers has come along and taking all of the customers, so they have to team up and they work together, and then they fall in love. It's very cute. It's actually so cute. The beginning of the book was a little bit long. I feel like the first third, so each chapter is written in like it like alternates between the two characters' perspectives, and I feel like the first third of the book, what they were really trying to establish how one character is kind of an asshole, because I really didn't like this character, and it was like, ooh, I was so mad, I was so annoyed about this character, because I didn't like him at all, but once about a third of the book came, like once I got through about a third of the book, I specifically complained to Alan about how much I didn't like this character. It picked up. After I complained, it picked up. So once you get to a point where you're really, really annoyed at this character for being kind of a jerk, it'll pick up. And then it's really cute. So, I enjoyed it. I think I rated it 4 out of 5. Yeah, so those are the books I've been reading. And Cissy's book cafe section. I have been having such a good time reading, actually. I started reading again last month in August, and I'm just reading whatever I want to read, and it's been really nice, like I think when I stopped reading is partially because of the pandemic. Well, it was all because of the pandemic, but the reason I really stopped reading, now that I think about it, is because I was reading a lot of nonfiction, like heavy nonfiction. I was reading things about gentrification and zoning laws, and dark money in politics, and the history of Jim Crow laws and segregation in America, and just like a lot of really heavy topics. And I think all of those were really valuable to read and like to learn about, because honestly, my high school education was super lacking. I went to a very expensive high school and private school, and they did not teach me anything. How do I explain this? Like, I don't remember learning about the civil rights movement in my US history class that we spent a whole year on, which is really sus. Okay, so I'm really glad that I spent all that time reading all of those books before the pandemic, like after I'd graduated and like had time to read and stuff. But by the time the pandemic hit, it was too heavy for me. And so I'm really glad to be reading just like chill fantasy YA books again, like there's no pressure. I can just do whatever. I'm just having a good time. Sorry about the trains. I'm so curious to see how this audio turns out between the phone and the camera. We'll see. We'll find out. Yeah. All right. I am going to stop blabbing because I've been talking for 14 minutes. What a long intro. I hope you're doing well. I am going to start packing up Patreon goodie bags. And then I'm really excited because we are going to be working on an ink painting later this week. I have this sketch. Let me show it to you. I printed it out. Can you see it? I have been wanting to do a painting based on chang'e and hoi, which are the main characters in the myth for the Mid-Autumn Festival, Harvest Moon Festival, whatever you want to call it. And so I have been practicing really hard at drawing people in like a stylized way where it feels like they would still match my world of little characters. And I think this sketch has turned out pretty okay. And so I stretched some watercolor paper last night. My least favorite task to do. I hate stretching paper. And we're gonna transfer the sketch over to watercolor paper at some point, probably tomorrow, depending how long the Patreon goodie bags take to pack. And we're gonna do some ink painting, and I'm really excited because I bought a bunch of inks from Europe and I still haven't used them. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go now. Ooh, wait, I also need to talk about, hold 1 second. I received this little label maker, thermal printer, From a company. They gifted it to me, and I'm supposed to test it out in a video. So if the labels are big enough, we can test it for printing my address labels, which will be nice. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Sorry for rambling so much. I hope you're doing well, and let's get started. No. So unfortunately, this is so cute, but unfortunately it is too small to use with my labels that I use for addresses. They included these, nope, these little itty bitty rollers labels. You can't really see them, but they are way too small for address labels. Look at how much shorter they are. So they're not gonna, the addresses will be too small, and I don't want to like give my postal workers eye strain. So I will have to figure out a different way to use these. I'm thinking I am going to print out some little like oops labels or logo labels to use on the back of like my post-it notes and my notepads. I think that'd be really cute. I could use the circle labels as something to label my washi tapes. I'm not sure, but I will have to figure it out because I do want to use it because it's so cute. And they did send this to me, so yeah. All right, we'll have to figure out. This will be on hold until we figure out a different use for this. Sometime later in this vlog. Monday. It's been a minute. I think since I last chatted with you all, because I was trying to not film too many chatty clips because my last chatty clip was like 13 minutes long. We'll be talking about books. It's Monday. Happy Monday. It's the Monday before this video is gonna go out. What have I been up to? I have been working very hard on getting the Patreon goodies done. I am behind. Your girl is behind. I don't know how this happened. Do I? Oh, it's because I was working on commissions for a really long time. Yeah, so I'm behind. But the last thing I need to do is finish this painting, which I started on Friday. And I'm gonna try my very best to finish it today. I'm a little bit scared. I really love how the gradient for the background has turned out and the clouds, but I don't know if you can tell, but there is like a girl character here. I never draw people, so I'm terrified. Yeah, but this afternoon, hopefully we will be finishing this. Also, I went to Yoseka on Friday and it was really, really fun. I did some damage, but I thought I would show you quickly my little haul. This is my old notebook. Okay. So first of all, the main thing that I went to go get was my hobonichi for next year. Let's open it. I have been holding back from opening all of these things so that I could do it on camera. And you know, I could make a separate haul video, but I want to open everything, so here we are. Okay, so the hobonichi, I got the English version. My last one was the Japanese version, which is here. So this is the Japanese version, this is the English version. I think the grid on the English version is a little bit bigger. Let me compare. Yeah, it's slightly bigger, but that's okay. I do like the tiny grid on this, but this one's still pretty little, so that's fine. And I will actually be able to read all the quotes because it's in English. Cute, 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 cute. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with this. So I got the hobonichi. I actually really like the English version cover. I like that it's so sleek and black, because the Japanese version, I can show you, is like a blonde color. This is what the Japanese version looks like. See? I think the English version looks a lot prettier. I like how sleek this is. But yeah, anyway. Excited about that. And then it also came with these little goodies. Has a little info sheet and another little info sheet. This is cute. Look, the little cookie. And then it has a extra little Tomoe River paper sample because they're switching paper next year. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. So I will be able to test out whether or not I like the new Tomoe River paper. It's probably gonna be fine. I know people were panicking online, but it's probably gonna be fine. And then, okay, I also got some traveler notebooks inserts. Oh, this is an old one. I got these two traveler notebook inserts. This one is a grid one, and then just a plain grid one, and this one is the monthly diary one. I'm gonna be using this as a content planner. I'm pretty sure. I'm actually gonna start using it now. I kind of wanted to wait until next year, but I have it and it's a blank thing, so I could just use it now. So I think I'm gonna use it now. And I also bought a mini traveler's notebook. Okay, guys, listen. I know I have the regular size, but I've been wanting to get the passport size because I feel like it's a better sketchbook size for me. Because I'm so used to my pocket notebook. This one, my little pocket notebooks that I made for my shop, I've been using them as sketchbooks. See, I call it my barouillage notebook. Barouillage is scribbles in French, and as you can see, it's all scribbles. So yeah, I wanted to have that in a traveler's notebook so it could be like all nice and protected and cute. So I got a passport size. I really wanted the train limited edition one, but Yoseka was out of stock, so it really wasn't meant to be. It's okay. So I got the brown one because I thought the brown one would look nice next to my camel one. My camel, ooh, my regular camel one. Ta-da, see? Both of them together. Aren't they cute? Okay, I'm pleased. I think they're really cute. So I got, so it comes with the blank little notebook, which I'll be using as my verbiage notebook. And then it has, you know, all the regular stuff. So it has a little pouch. And it has a little extra elastic that I won't be using. Oh, and this extra elastic. And then I also got a free diary for the passport, which is like a weekly diary refill. And I'm gonna use this as my gratitude journal, I think, because I haven't been doing gratitude journal in like years now. And I would like to get back to it. I feel like it made me a better person. Does that make sense? Yeah, so my little haul. I'm really excited. And oh my god, I have so much to clean up before stream. I got a new fountain pen, guys. So I got the Kaweco Sport. It's so little, it's super cute. It's a mini pen, and then you use it posted, so it like becomes a normal sized pen basically. I got a medium nib so that it would be a little bit thicker, and I got a converter, which is also extra money. But yeah, and I got some ink samples at Yoseka. I think their little sample bottles are so cute. See? Aren't they adorable for our restaurant? My 4 little ink sample bottles. I got samples of the 2 of the Yoseka ceramics inks, and then I got 2 ink samples of the Lennon Toolbar inks. Both are, I mean, Yoseka is Yoseka, they're a Taiwanese brand, or they're a Taiwanese American company, and then Lennon Toolbar is a Taiwanese brand that I never heard of before, and I'm trying out their inks. I tried out this one. This is what I filled my kaweco with. I tried out Lennon Toolbar Wenshan Pochong. I don't know what the Chinese is supposed to be, but it's supposed to be like a tea green colored ink, but for some reason in my kaweco it's coming out kind of gray, so I don't think I would buy a full bottle of this. So I'm glad I got the samples, but it's very cute. And then I'm excited to try all the other ones. And really quickly, oh my god, some instruments. And I got their free postcard. So cute. I love this. It's Riso printed, and I really want to try Riso printing so badly, but it's so expensive. So we'll see. But yeah, really quickly, books I've been reading. I finished the ACOTAR series. I finished A Court of Silver Flames and A Court of Frost and Starlight. I stand by my original statement that ACOTAR is a bad series, but it is very enjoyable. So I did finish the entire series, and I probably will be reading the rest of the books as they come out. Yeah. Rereadability, I feel like it's not super high. Like, you don't have to reread them. I don't feel compelled to want to reread them, you know, like once is good kind of thing. But they're there, they're fun. And then the other book that I finished reading is this one, A Magic Steeped in Poison, which is another fantasy YA book. And it's about a girl whose mother dies by poisoned tea, and her sister is also sick by the same poisoned tea, and she is trying to discover a cure for the poison, and she goes to an basically imperial contest thing so that she can ask the empress, or the princess at this point, but she wants to ask a favor so that the favor would be the cure for the tea, you know? And it's a magic system based on tea. So basically, the way that the tea is served and poured and stuff makes it all magical. It's really cool. I think the magic system is really interesting to read about. there's a little bit of romance in it, so it's cute. There's a little bit of like subterfuge political stuff going on, and that's also fun. Yeah, I think the world building was really good. I think the character descriptions were kind of not as good, but the world building was super cool. And I did request the second book. This is part of a duology. The second one is A Venom Dark and Sweet, I think. But I did request it from the library, so hopefully I will be getting it soon. And then the other thing that I've been, the other thing I've been reading has been The Poppy War, which I just started yesterday. I've read 2/3 of it, so I'm doing good progress. Is it a fantasy? It is a fantasy. It's a book about war, basically. I think it's supposed to be inspired by either like the Japanese invasion of China or like the Opium Wars. I'm not 100% sure. My history is like kind of, but it's about this girl who is from a poor peasant town, and she wants to get out because her circumstances are really bad, and she's a foster child, so like her parents are or her foster parents are not treating her well and are trying to marry her off into a family so that they can take advantage of her, basically. So she tries to get out by essentially doing this world's version of the Gaokao, which is like the college entrance exam. And she ends up getting the highest marks in her province, which is incredible because she doesn't have a ton of work, like she doesn't have a ton of school background. And that's like the first that's like the first like tiny bit of the book. That's not even any spoilers. Yes, I'm excited to read the rest of it. I'm excited to read the rest of the series, because I think this is a series. And then also this is the author that wrote Babel, and I really want to read Babel, which is apparently, I don't know what it's about, but it has a cool looking cover, so yeah. All right, I need to start my stream. I need to clean up and start my stream and figure out what I'm streaming. I'm gonna be drawing. Yeah, okay, that's it. Anything else? I went on a yarn crawl on Saturday, and that was really fun. And I didn't buy any yarn because I spent too much money at Yoseka, which is worth it because the yarn that we looked at was like $30 a skein, and I am not made that kind of money. That's it. I need to stop talking. Okay, goodbye. Hello, friends. I wasn't going to film a little intro for today. It's Tuesday because honestly, I've talked a lot already in this vlog, but I need someone to talk about this book with. So here we are. Okay, I talked about how I started reading The Poppy War yesterday, and I have now finished the book. And I was correct. I looked it up afterwards, but I was correct that this book is inspired by the Second Sino-Japanese War, which was basically during World War II time for Europe, when Japan invaded China and did a bunch of stuff. I was correct. Okay. From here on out, I am going to be talking kind of spoilers about this book. So if you don't want to know spoilers, I would skip to some timestamp that I am going to figure out how to do so that you can skip the spoiler section. All right. Okay, this book is split into 3 parts. The first part is about our main character getting out of their rural town and going to school, and it's like a really cool bit about world building and stuff like that. Yeah. Second part is about the war, and it's about the initial invasion of the what they called the Federation into the Nikama Empire. Is that how it's called? Nikara Empire. The third section is about genocide. So it's very dark. It's very dark. It's difficult to read. I could tell without even looking it up that it was about Japan's invasion of China, or it's like very directly inspired by Japan's invasion of China, because in high school, this is about me, not about the book. In high school, I became very interested in reading about and learning about the atrocities that Japan committed against Chinese people, specifically in relation to Nanjing. I don't think I can actually say what happened because I think that might be I think YouTube might flag it. But if you want to look it up, look up Unit 731 and look up the Nanjing Massacre. Yeah, I became really interested in reading about that, and I watched so many documentaries about it. I wrote 2 term papers about it in history class. I actually, for my US history class, I managed somehow to still write about Nanjing for US history. So my point is I was very interested about it. So and I've been to the Nanjing Massacre Museum in Nanjing. My grandma is from Nanjing, so that's why I was interested in the first place. There are parts of this book that are clearly directly, events are taken directly from what happened in China. And so it was difficult to read, but not as difficult as watching those documentaries back in high school. So yeah, it's really, really dark. I honestly am surprised that this even managed to get published. I don't know, I feel like we don't really talk about the Nanjing Massacre. We don't talk about what Japan did to Chinese people during World War II. People have kind of brushed it under the rug. Part of it is also because Japan doesn't admit to the fact that they did those things to us, which is still a sore point for a lot of Chinese people, and we have a lot of generational trauma around it. I'm trying to say this really delicately. So I'm surprised that this got published. I rated this 5 out of 5. I think that the world building was really good. And honestly, I think I would have rated it 5 out of 5 just for the bits, the third part where they talk about the genocide and the atrocities that happened, because any form of trying to get that information out into public knowledge I think is really important, because like so many people have forgotten. So many people don't talk about it. Um, yeah. I just needed somebody to talk to about this book. I'm gonna pick up the next one. It's a trilogy, I think. Apparently, the main character is supposed to be based off of Mao Zedong, who you may or may not know was the first chairman of China, like when the Communist Party took over. I'm interested to see how that part of Chinese history is going to be incorporated into the next book, because like this one is so clearly about the Japanese invasion of China, so then the next one will probably be about communist rise in China after the Japanese left. Anyway, really good book, interesting to read. It is very dark. I recommend being in a good headspace, especially if you don't know anything about the Nanjing Massacre or about Unit 731 or about anything really relating to Japan's invasion of China. I first recommend looking up the Wikipedia pages. I recommend looking up the Wikipedia pages, and then I recommend also being in a really good headspace, because it is truly horrible and awful to know what humans can do to other humans. Like, I know we talk about other atrocities all the time. This one's a really big one, okay? What Japan did to China is a really huge, awful thing. If you don't know about it, like, I think that everybody needs to know about it, because like it's an important part of history, but also definitely be in a good headspace before you read about it. Yeah, it's very dark, but I do recommend 5 out of 5. I'm gonna be thinking about this book a lot, like for a long time after this, and I can't wait to read the next one. Can I wait? I think I can wait a little bit. I have a couple more books to read before I start the second one. But yeah, I just need to talk about this. All right, this vlog is just literally all of me talking about books, but I have a huge to-do list for tomorrow. I mean, for today. I have a huge to-do list for today. I'm gonna get started on it. I finished my froggy, by the way. Look at him. My little froggy is done. We are going to put him in the mailbox today. Hopefully, I need to pack up a little goodie bag, care package. That's what the frog is for. It's a little care package for a friend. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start my day doing some work, and I'm gonna stop talking about books for the rest of this vlog, hopefully. Hello friends, this is just me checking in to say thank you for watching the studio vlog. I can't remember what I last updated you on, but I did get a little bit of an IKEA order in, so my shelves look a little bit better now. I got these little paper organizers and I already love them so much. It makes dealing with my papers so much easier. I also got a new monitor stand, which, there you go. Right here, it's also an IKEA monitor stand. It's so much nicer than my acrylic one from the Container Store. Ooh, that was like bent and warped. I'm hoping this one holds up better than the Container Store one, but it was cheaper and it looks really nice. It goes really well with the desk because they're both bamboo, and I just like it a lot. I like that it has a little drawer. So yeah, I'm really happy with the slight changes that I've been doing to my bookcases. The next thing I really want to do is decorate it. I want to get like garlands, and I'm gonna make little garlands and maybe some like string lights or something. I think it would look cute. But yeah, I'm overall quite pleased. I've also been starting to prep paper for October because I want to do a little bit of a daily drawing challenge. Am I actually going to do every day? I told myself I didn't have to because it's going to be really stressful. So I was thinking I could do every other day or something. But I did cut out 31 pieces of paper. This one is not stretched yet. That's why it like looks like this. But these pages have been stretched. I'm gonna stretch the rest of them today after I finish editing my studio vlog. And is there anything else to talk about? Oh, I got my driver's license. That's fun. I went for my road test yesterday and it was like 8 minutes long. It was so short, but I got my driver's license, so watch out in New York City. Just kidding, I'm not actually going to be driving in the city because there are trains and I don't need to drive here, but it's good to have. And I want to go visit my mom and practice more. But yeah, you know, the ripe old age of my late 20s, I have finally gotten a driver's license, so be proud of me, please. Okay, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for being here, for hanging out with me for this probably very long studio vlog. I don't know yet. I haven't edited it yet. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being part of my cozy little space on the internet, and I will see you so soon. Goodbye, friends.